Hello and welcome to SLAKE Funduro Meadows, the first one for 2022. Where the riders briefing will be held and the registration takes place. Lots of excitement. Everybody is moving slower than normal because it's extremely hot. We expect temperatures of 35 degrees Celsius today. So we entered the SLAKE track for first of two loops that Brennan and I decided to do. First we do a full round of a B loop to warm up. This is the first of a few obstacles that were available for people to take. For this one, the downhill, as usual, is a bit more tricky than the uphill. And we went on to the rest of the track. It's nice as long as you move for wind to blow through the kit. As soon as you stand still, it is scorching hot. This time Brennan and I were of the first to go through the gates of the track, the entry point, and as a result we did not encounter any traffic on these uphills, that being the reason that we don't see any other bikers around. Down the other side of the hill, fairly steep downhill, into the canopies, and notice the beautiful vegetation and gorgeous that we go through. The erosion created some nice obstacles for us. Actually nice to be able to go continuously without having to stop and wait in bottlenecks. This is an area where many riders actually battled through, especially youngsters were assisted by their daddies to go up here, causing some bottlenecks, of course. This downhill is quite a steep one. I would say one of the steepest of this track. If you don't know what you're doing here, you could end up in the bush or putting the bike down. And then into a canopy again. So we crossed the farm road into the other side of the farm, into riverbeds, as well as where we will encounter the Cloud 9 hill. What is nice about this lake is that you get sand, you get canopies, you get mountains, everything one can think of. And of course you get lots of fun with it all. Crossing the river, up the other side, tricky little uphill here. Turn left. Just another angle of that same hill. Brennan and I adjusted the suspension of this 300, and I must admit it handles a lot better. It just manages all the obstacles with a lot more ease. So here's Cloud 9, one guy coming down there. Brennan's checking it out first. So Brennan and I went off into the mountain. As long as you move, it's nice and cool. As soon as you stand still, you can feel the heat. This lake literally offered us everything. This is also a steep downhill, which is actually straight as an arrow. You must just get down to the bottom without falling, of course. Into the canopies. And the first sandy patch of the riverbed, where the sand is loose, it actually manipulates the bike if you don't apply enough power. Onto a rocky section where I could enjoy adjust the suspension again, up the other side of the riverbed on the bank. Quick guy coming past. Some oaks really can ride their bikes. This is the last uphill that you encounter before you get to the clouds. Fortunately this time around, again, Brendan and I could go through it without traffic holding us back. It's also one where novice riders really battle to get up. It's fairly long and it's steep. So down into the first sting that Brendan chose to take, rocky riverbed, allowing for some fun obstacles. After Brendan finished this, he told us that it was just too hot, especially because you can't move for wind to blow through the clothing, and it's in a canopy. It's not a long one, it's about 150 meters long, I guess. I waited for Brendan on the exit of the sting. At this point I decided not to go up the sand uphill there. I chose to go turn right and into the riverbed. Brendan took the uphill. Right here is the bush camp where we camped for the weekend. Very primitive but clean and enjoyable. There's our camera lady, Maralise, and Brennan took one of the clouds, as we call it. So far about 4 guys that we know of who were able to finish all the clouds, with the right-hand one, the far right-hand one being the most difficult. This is the last little piece of riverbed of the loop before we get back to the pits area. That was the end of our first A-loop. This is just some clips of that same hill where we were alone in the first lap. You can see now how many guys got stuck here, which is causing some sort of a bottleneck, especially when many motorcyclists want to go there at once. Small guys having fallen over. Thank you for watching. We look forward to entertaining you next time. Our next slake will be the 12th of February in Humansdorp, the Swartenbos Golf Estate. Have fun.